Hey guys, have you ever heard of a Marvel character named Morbius? Morbius is a vampire. He had his own comic book line starting in 1992, and he was a member of the Night Stalkers. And there is a comic book line that was in 1992 called Rise of the Midnight Suns. And as you can see, this is Morbius, and this is Blade. A lot of people don't know that Blade, who was played by Wesley Snipes, is that figure awesome or what? He's got the motorcycle too. Blade was a comic book, Marvel comic book. And, of course, most people know that Ghost Rider was also a Marvel comic book. I'm a big fan of Blade and Ghost Rider. The Blade movies were pretty good. The first one was awesome. And Ghost Rider, with Nicolas Cage, it was okay. But the reason I'm talking about this is because they are making a Morbius movie, Morbius the Vampire. This is from Den of Geek. Jared Leto and Matt Smith will star in Morbius, the Living Vampire. Now they talk about it being a Spider-Man spinoff. I don't know about that, but he's an anti-hero, kind of like Venom, and it's brought forward by Burke Sharpless and Matt Sazama. There's so many words that are hard to pronounce with folks nowadays. I hope I don't tear them up. The duo helped script the 2017 Power Rangers movie, which I didn't see, and the Lost in Space for Netflix, which I did see and I'm a fan of. I enjoyed the Netflix Lost in Space series. And Daniel Espinosa from Safe House fame will direct. The Morbius cast. At the moment, all we know about is cast is Jared Leto. He will play Michael Morbius. And Matt Smith from Doctor Who. He was the Doctor after David Tennant. He will be in the story. A little history for Morbius. Morbius first appeared in Amazing Spider-Man 101, 1971. He arrived just after the Comics Code Authority lifted its ban on vampires and supernatural characters in 1971. He first tangled with Spider-Man during the famous storyline in which the Wallcrawler grew 4 extra arms after failed experiments to remove his spider powers. They made an action figure of that too, you know. Dr. Michael Morbius was a brilliant biochemist suffering from a rare blood disorder who tried to cure himself with an experimental treatment involving vampire bats. While saving his life, it turned him into a pale, white, blood-craving creature with most of the attributes of a vampire, even a weakness to daylight, minus the undead aspect. So he was a living vampire. He did get his own series in 1992, which the Night Stalkers, Spirits of Vengeance, Ghost Rider, they all started about the same time, and I bought them when they first came out. I liked them. It was pretty good. He's also famously depicted as a tragic villain in the 1999 or 1990s Spider-Man animated series. Morbius will be released on July 31st, 2020, just a few weeks after Sony's Ghostbusters 3. Now, this is coming from Sony, so it's not part of Marvel, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It is, but it isn't. You know, it's because they've been able to borrow Spider-Man from Sony, since Sony owns Spider-Man. It's one of those characters you just don't know about. But then again, Guardians of the Galaxy, I knew about them, but I just never really read their comics. But the first movie was awesome. The second movie was okay. So we don't know how that, this is going to go. A Venom movie just came out and it was successful. So they're going to try to do the same with a Morbius movie. Now, Blade, the movies were made by New Line Cinema, but the rights have reverted over to Marvel. So the chances of us seeing Wesley Snipes' Blade in the Morbius movie are probably pretty low. Though Wesley Snipes will always be Blade to me in the movies. This comic book, it has Doctor Strange in it, has Hannibal in it, it even has, do you remember in the movies when Wesley Snipes' Blade said, there's worse things out at night than vampires? It's in this comic book. It's a great comic book, you should read it. I don't know if we'll see Wesley Snipes as Blade, but I would love to see Blade and Morbius and Ghost Rider in the same movie. Even if it's Nicolas Cage, those movies were great, but they were good. I was okay with it. So, that Deadline article was just a few days ago, so it looks like we're going to have a Morbius movie, and it's one of those movies you may not have heard about, but I saw it, and I wanted to make a video on it. And I like vampire movies. I don't like zombie movies, but I like vampire movies, so I'm hoping that they go ahead and go through it, and I'm hoping that it'll at least have some cameos of Wesley Snipes' Blade and even Nicolas Cage's Ghost Rider, or if the Morbius movie is successful with Jared Leto, he's a great actor. Maybe they'll have a Spirits of Vengeance movie, or the Night Stalkers movie. That would be fantastic. I would love to see that. So, if you've heard of Morbius and are you interested in one of his them making a movie of Morbius, I think it could be a good thing if they do it right, of course. So things are iffy nowadays, aren't they? So, and heck, while you're at it, let me know what you think about Blade and Ghost Rider. Thanks for watching, and why don't you go ahead and subscribe. You never know what I'm going to be putting on here. We'll see you next video.